Welcome to the Elephant and Donkey Show, the podcast where a Republican and Democrat sit down to discuss today's most pressing issues. I'm your host, Republican John, and joining me today is my co-host, Democrat Jane.
Today we're discussing a hot topic in the news, the growing tensions between the United States and China over Taiwan.
Yes, a top Republican in Congress recently said that the odds of conflict with China are very high, which has sparked concern among many Americans.
This was after a U.S. general caused a stir with a memo that warned that the United States would fight China in the next 2 years.
It's a very serious situation, and it's important that we discuss it from both perspectives. So let's dive in.
From a Republican perspective, it's important that we stand up to China and show them that we won't tolerate any aggression towards Taiwan. They have been a long-standing ally of the United States, and we have a responsibility to protect them.
I understand that sentiment, but as a Democrat, I believe that it's important to approach this situation with caution. We need to look at all the factors at play, such as the potential impact on global relations and the economy.
That's a good point, but we also need to consider the national security implications. China has been increasingly aggressive in their actions, and we need to take a stand to protect American interests.
Absolutely. But at the same time, we need to be mindful of the fact our conflict with China could have devastating consequences for both the United States and the global community as a whole.
That's why it's crucial that we engage in diplomatic efforts to de-escalate the situation and find a peaceful resolution.
Agreed. We need to work with our allies and the international community to find a solution that benefits everyone.
And that's what the Elephant and Donkey Show is all about, finding common ground and working together to find solutions to complex issues. But at the same time, we need to be prepared for any eventualities. The United States has one of the strongest military forces in the world, and we need to be ready to use it if necessary.
Absolutely. But we also need to consider the consequences of military action. War can lead to loss of life and economic devastation, and it should always be a last resort.
That's why it's important that we continue to engage in diplomatic efforts, but we also need to be prepared for the worst-case scenario.
And that's why it's important that the United States work with Taiwan to enhance their own military capabilities. Taiwan needs to be able to defend themselves if necessary.
That's a good point, but we also need to be careful about the kind of military aid we provide to Taiwan. We don't want to provoke China or make them feel threatened.
That's why it's important that we engage in a nuanced approach, one that balances the need for preparedness with the need for diplomacy.
And that's what the Elephant and Donkey Show is all about, finding that balance and finding solutions that are in the best interest of the United States and the world as a whole.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Elephant and Donkey Show. Join us next time as we continue to explore the biggest issues facing our country. Until then, have a great day